Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger coming at you, and we are continuing our drive with our MAN XXL cab, the high-end MAN truck. We are currently hauling 40 tons, heavier by a little bit than the other loads, but not by so much as to make an appreciable difference. And so far I've been doing very well. The one thing that kind of disappoints me is it doesn't look like we have much of a hill climb, which, I don't know, it's a little disappointing. I didn't look as well as I should have, maybe. But I still think we can get a fair evaluation of the man's potential as we drive. Because if not, then I'll just come back and revisit it later. I might do a heavy haul video with it, with that big chassis I showed you. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to do a video of we're gonna deal with speed bumps. I want to do a video of like pitting all the high-end trucks versus the heaviest load. 72 or 80 tons. 80 tons preferably. But we'll see. Take this real carefully. Again, I don't like how the cab moves. It's actually a relatively small trailer for the amount of weight that it's hauling. 36 tons and we only got a 3-wheel. When our 34-ton trailers and our other 36 tons had many more wheels. See, the whole cab comes up off the ground. That's just not right. I kind of got my fingers crossed that I'll get a little help with my going east DLC. Somebody commented and asked if there was an issue about getting the DLC and if there's a place they could donate. And I shouldn't have gone into as much explanation as I did. I should just, yes, it's a cash issue, and yes, I'd really appreciate help. But I kind of went into a whole description of why, a brief description anyways, which even brief was a little too much now that I think back to it. But, even still, downshift. We got a long grade here, so this gives us at least a little bit of idea of how it would handle. You just kind of imagine this back and forth, but when they asked if they could donate, and I said, well, if you wanted to donate, you can just send me a message on YouTube, and I can give you the information to my PayPal account, because that's really all I have. Otherwise, there's really not much else. But I'll get it eventually. Whether I get help getting it or not, I will get it eventually. I'm looking to try and get it this coming month as one of my first purchases, because I'd like to go over the newly licensed trucks. There's a few new trucks in there that I'd like to go over as well and see and try out. Not doing bad on the climbs. Granted, I can't compare them to mountain climbing right now, but that was a fairly long, steady grade of an okay ascent, so not too shabby overall. I'm going to just ignore the GPS for the moment. Oops. And I'm going to go straight. and turn down the next road, just so I can unlock whatever that question mark is, which I'm going to guess is a recruitment agency, but it could be a dealership. It is a dealership. I should have guessed. Which dealership is it? DAF. That's cool. Oh yeah, I'm over €1,000,000 now, by the way, if you haven't noticed. So how easy it is to make money in this game once you get rolling, like I said, yeah? This is rather inconvenient. I don't even think my trailer got all the... not quite all the way straight now. That's a very weird streetlight. I actually like the dilapidated, broken down building that's like out on the road. Rest stop and gas station that you actually have to turn into. That's strange. Don't see much point in shifting gears because we're going to be turning right here anyways. Again, I'm going to be taking it from like this lane. Because even though we have a shorter trailer, it's still pretty tight. There we go. Just coasted down the on-ramp because the on-ramp's a little tight here, but shouldn't be an issue. It looks like we're headed into hill climbs, but we'll see. Gotta be careful here. Coming up to a fairly steep corner. So yeah, a little slow in the corner, but really had to be because that was like short hairpin uphill climb. To hit that even remotely fast would have been terrible. I think we just do some country road driving that we don't actually get hill climbs. Like I said, so that's a little disappointing. But this will definitely keep me on my toes about how fast I'm going. At least I hope it will, because I'd really like to not have a truck almost overturn as I'm driving it. And that can only happen if I keep my wits about me and don't get lulled into the drive. And seeing how I'm pretty sure we're not going to have much of a hill climb, I may come back and revisit the man. Although we've had a little bit of hill climb here and there, so we can at least get a general judge of how well the man would perform under those circumstances. Now you know you're going slow when you're getting passed by a bus. Just hovering around 10th gear right now, keeping about 60 kilometers. That's how much this road curves. You could actually see part of the trip on the GPS. That's well ahead of where we are. And so instead of driving up the mountain, as we did so many times before, we're driving around the mountain, which it's not what I wanted, but it's okay. I said we'll revisit this another time. Somewhere after another heavy haul video, I'll do like the DAF and the Iveco revisit, and then I'll do a heavy haul, and then maybe I'll come back and do the man again. We'll see. We shall see. One lonely, low little gas station out here all by itself. Probably charging an arm and a leg because there's no competition anywhere else. I know a gas station like that. Where it's charging like nearly $1 more than everywhere else per gallon because it's the only gas station around for quite a ways. And it's in a very small town that's like literally in the backside of nowhere, so. We may not have mountains, but we definitely got curves. So definite slow going at this point. Another slight bit of traffic built up behind us. What can I say though? I'm not gaining any speed right now. I figured maybe if I built up a little bit more speed in another gear, maybe I would do a little bit better. think so. You know, what can I say? Whereas we don't have very steep, short, back and forth hill climbs, we do have a very long, steady, not so steep hill climb, which in and of itself is a very good test. We're almost at our destination anyways. 80 kilometers out. There's a scary prospect right there, that cliff. Driving along, big truck. There's a cliff right there. Come on. We can do this. Reminds me a little bit, very little bit of that series I used to watch on Discovery Channel, I think it was. Or, you know, whatever it was, Extreme Road Truckers. It was kind of a spin-off of the Ice Road Truckers, where they would take, you know, 2 truck drivers, or, you know, 3 truck drive, 2 truck drivers per group, or 1 truck driver, and they would take 3 of them, and they'd put them on driving the most dangerous roads in America. Not in America, I'm sorry, the most dangerous roads in the world. You know, these big, steep, cliffside mountain roads that are wide enough just for the truck. And then, you know, you'd end up, you know, they end up meeting buses and other cars, and people flying along, and, you know, having buses and cars and trucks roll off the edge because there's like no guardrail is kind of a common occurrence, and all kinds of things like that. And real scary stuff, man. I remember, this is when I used to have TV. I haven't had a TV in my room in a couple of years now. Been content to use YouTube and Hulu and Netflix and all that. You know, say what you want about Hulu. Hulu has a lot of shows on it that Netflix doesn't. That's one of the reasons I like Hulu. So you say what you want about Hulu TV versus Netflix. Hulu has a lot of shows on it that Netflix does not have. And their content's more up to date than Netflix is in most occasions. So I think Hulu's just fine. Yeah, it's a little more annoying that Hulu, whoa. That was annoying. At least it wasn't like my Scania where I was going way too fast, huh? A cool little village right there, huh? Look at that cool little setup. Look at me driving into the into the concrete pillars at the side of the road. Driver Marcel, man, you never let me down. Unlike Kenneth, who I'm pretty sure is fired at this point. I haven't seen anything about Kenneth lately. But I'm going to go back over the video and see who that was. And if it was indeed Kenneth, then he is indeed fired. Well, this time we got a van that's been crushed by rocks. Skidding all over the road. Interesting to know where some of these roads go that I've never been to, yeah. Ah, shift, shift. Shift a little too far. Look at that beautiful view, yeah? Just that beautiful windshield view, just completely 100% unobscured, yeah? That's one of the greatest things about the Man, is just that view out the front windshield. You don't see your front mirror obstructing your view. There's nothing stuck on the windshield obscuring your view. The windshield's nice, big, tall. Even with the sun guard there, you just have this huge, amazing view right out the front that is just absolutely a joy to drive, you know. And the big mirrors, the beautiful view in the back, you can see just fine. I'm just going to ride this out in the truck. That's just what makes the Man a joy to drive to me, is those just that big front view and even the side view. Even though the mirrors are really big, as you can see, you got a nice peephole through there, so you don't have to turn quite as much when you do when you do turn. You still get a pretty awesome view of everything. You're going slow. So I'm just going to make my turn here. Interesting enough. No idea what's going on there. I really like that the mirror's placed like on the side over there. It's just so convenient. It's like we're gonna have some tough corners going up here. I should be able just to squeeze around him without having to. I'm guessing this is our turn-in point right here. Better swing this wide because that looks narrow from where I was. Yeah, you could say that. Make sure we're going to clear. And then it looks like we got a really sharp corner, so I'm going to like pull it forward and then swing hard like this, because it looks like we got to go this way. I want to make sure that we can clear that all right. And then this isn't even our back end point. It's over here. Why am I using the direction? I don't know. So despite being a heavy trailer, it's a short trailer, and it's right there, so we should be able to pull this off without too much trouble. The optimal word there being should. Yeah. I think we got it already. Yep, there we go. Right, that was a pretty quick trip, honestly. Yeah, only 558 land kilometers, so we're over €1,000,000. Alright, so my evaluation so far, like I said, unfortunately, we didn't get to do much hill climbing in terms of steep back and forth climbing, but we did have a few steady, long grade climbs, and it actually handled them pretty well. Will I revisit the man? I'm going to be honest with you. Probably. If nothing else, I want to use that big 8x4 chassis, and I'll do that on video as I go over the different trucks and the different chassis I have for them, different engines and whatnot. So I want to do that. But anyways, the breakdown of the man truck. Of course, it, as always, has the beautiful view out the windshield. Like I said, it has that huge windshield with a nice unobstructed view with the mirror being off to the side as opposed to mounted over the front like other trucks. I really enjoy that. Nice big side mirrors, big beautiful side views. Nice cab. Hauls really well, did really well under the weight. Even the sharp corners it handled really well. Okay, granted, I had to drive it. I drove it a little bit better than the other ones, but it still handled it really strongly. I never got the sense that I was in real trouble of going over. Unlike the other trucks, I could tell when I was hitting that breaking point. Even when some of the corners I took at the slightly higher speeds because I was approaching a little too fast, I never really got that sense out of this truck. So I don't really know what else to say beyond that. It's an awesome truck. It's the third strongest truck in the game, but it's not that, it's not that much weaker. Not by, it's not down by much. So getting a man as a beginner truck and going on through and keeping with it as a high-end truck, definitely. Definitely. I could see myself coming back and driving this truck many times just for a change of pace outside my Scania because it does really, really well, and I really love the cab on it. It's just really awesome, and I love the sound. The unmodded sound in the game is really cool. So there you go, folks. The Man, what is it? TGX XXL cab. It's an awesome truck. There's nothing more to say. If you like this video, please comment, rate, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, at least comment and rate, and well, you can subscribe if you want. Maybe you're a masochist or something and you like punishment. I don't know. Until next time, folks, this is One Big Bugger signing out. I'll see you then.